What's the truth and who's lying? Do I really need to pay for a visa just to fly to Europe from the US starting in 2024? How much is it going to cost me? What if I get denied? I'm Sean and we're getting you the truth about those new Europe travel regulations, answering your questions about the cost, confusion, and controversy in this episode of Window Seat.
Big changes are coming for travelers looking to visit the European Union.
Yes, if you plan on flying to Europe next summer, it will get more complicated.
It's thanks to a new requirement made by the European Union.
You've probably seen it all over the news. And if you're already thinking about next year's vacation overseas, be warned. You will have to take an extra step before you board that flight. It is a huge change for nearly 1.5 billion travelers next year, and it is going to cost you some money. Up till now, tourists from more than 60 visa-exempt countries, including the US, have never needed any extra documentation to enter the 27 European countries in the Schengen region of the continent, plus Bulgaria, Romania, and Cyprus, so 30 countries total. Here's a look at those countries, just so you know exactly where we're talking about. These are definitely some of the hottest tourist spots in Europe, like France, Italy, and Spain. So if you're thinking of going here, listen up. This affects you. Again, until now, you could just meander through those parts of Europe for up to 90 days without any troubles. But those days are soon over. Now, you won't technically need a visa to get into those countries, but you will need electronic approval. Now, we're here to clear up some of that confusion and let's answer some of those basic questions. First, what is this new entry process called? It's called the European Travel Information and Authorization System, or ETIAS. Why is this happening? Well, the European Union essentially says it'll help with security amid increasing fears of terrorism around the world. It's been in the works for years. They just want to have a better sense of who's coming and who's going. And there is a good reason for that. According to a recent EU report on terrorism, authorities arrested nearly 400 suspects for terror-related offenses in 2021. And more than half of them were accused of being associated with foreign jihadist groups. It'll also help keep track of migration and keep tabs on folks in the event of an epidemic. It's similar to a system used in the US since 2008, requiring citizens from 40 countries to apply for entry if they're traveling here for less than 90 days. Basically, the US already makes a lot of Europeans do this, so now they're just returning the favor. Next question. When exactly does this start? Ha! Good question. Supposedly sometime in 2024, but there's no specific date and the rollout has already been delayed at least once. Another question, who needs to apply for this? Again, about 1.4 billion people of all ages who are currently able to travel without a visa through much of Europe. We're talking about tourists traveling from the United States and other countries like Australia, South Korea, and Singapore. Next question, do I have to do this every time I travel to Europe? The good news is, no you don't. The authorization is good for 3 years or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. Now here's one we've all been wondering. How much does this process cost? We're happy to tell you it will not break the bank. The ETIAS application costs €7 or about $8 US for travelers between 18 and 70 years old. Everyone younger and older than that doesn't have to pay. Next question, how do you apply? You can do it online in the European Union ETIAS website, and we'll put a link to that in the description below. When the website is fully operational, you'll be asked to provide your passport information, personal details like date of birth, parents' names, phone number, home address, email address, occupation, criminal history, and the reason you're traveling. They say you can even do it by mobile phone application, so again, this should be pretty easy. Now, how long will it take to get approved? The agency said it should take just a few minutes for most applications to be processed, and decisions are made within 4 days. But the ETIAS website suggested you apply well in advance before you travel, just in case. And another important question, what if your application is delayed or even denied? It could happen, and if it does, be patient. They say applications can be delayed up to a month if more documentation or information is required. And we're hearing you could be denied for any number of reasons. And if you use a fraudulent or invalid passport, or if you're deemed to be a security threat, you're hosed. But they do say travelers who are denied can file an appeal. Okay, another question, can I travel freely once I'm approved? Answer, kind of. You can stay in the European countries on the list for up to 90 days within a 6-month period. So yes, you can leave and come back, but try to stay over there for 91 days and you're in trouble. And lastly, what if I just don't do any of this? If you just go ahead and travel to Europe anyways, not good. Your ETIAS is linked to your passport, so you won't be able to get through airport security. And that vacation you've been planning forever will be a bust. Really glad we're here, and this is kind of ridiculous. Look, we've traveled to more than 70 or so countries, and we visited most of Europe, so we get it. You are stoked to explore the continent, and you will be able to, with very little extra hassle. Just one little hoop to jump through, starting sometime in 2024. And when you think about it, it's all in the name of stronger security and safety, which is something any traveler can get behind. That's it for this episode of Window Seat. Remember to check out the links in the video description below for updated information on when and where to apply for the ETIAS system. And be sure to hit like and share to help spread the word about the travel changes that are coming. We'd also love it if you hit subscribe so you can follow our adventures and get more up-to-the-minute travel tips. In the meantime, be sure to check out one of these other videos from Window Seat.